educate you more than soullessly chill a product. How else am I going to be able to afford that Egyptian cotton tally body pillow? Now, does anyone know why cybersecurity is important?
Like cyberpunk with guns?
No, you idiot! It protects you from online threats. Imagine if you went into a coffee shop. Wait, all of you are too old to drink coffee. Right. Imagine you go into the school cafeteria and you use the public Wi-Fi. You've just joined an open connection without protection. Anything you search will be saved and logged. And now everyone is pointing and laughing at you because Terry in Year 5 just exposed that you spent the last 8 hours searching up Hot Lady Roblox and FNAF But Hot compilation. If you used NordVPN/parasitical, you would have been protected. Oh, the travesty. Now, does anyone know what malware is?
Your mom.
Sadly, incorrect. Plus ratio. Malware is short for malicious software. That's right. When you visit low security, there's a chance malware could actually be attached to your PC. Free iPhone 20 for you, sir? Or like, free virus. Nord will now check websites you visit and even scan files you download to make sure you're as secure as possible. Imagine Nord as the big titty goth GF we've all wanted, but could never afford. But now you can, using NordVPN/parasitical, 4 months for free on a 2-year plan, money back guarantee. Wow, so cool. Tara is starting to get suspicious that she's being spied on, and if you couldn't tell through the subtle acting of paranoia, a guy with headphones gets caught instantly and tries to play it off in the least subtle way possible.
Have you seen my iPad anywhere?
No.
We then cut to the inevitable romance subplot where Samar and Tara start flirting with each other. And remember when I said the film is less than subtle? They start dealing cards, and this happens.
Joker?
That is your card, right?
But where did the king go?
Right in front of you.
There's no way Samar can be the king. Impossible, ignoring the fact the guy earlier was the exact same build and height. Tara's gang fly to Israel with Samar as kind of a holiday to have some time off. And if you look at the B-roll, you could just stick an Airbnb watermark in the corner and you wouldn't know any better. I assume it's to show Samar is getting closer with the gang, but it acts like these people have been together since childhood. But again, like I said, subtlety is not this film's strong suit. And this isn't a quick 1-minute montage either to communicate a time jump. This goes on for a whole 5 minutes. We cut to Viva's group, still trying to track down Tara's ring of smugglers, and Eureka moment discovering how they've been able to communicate with each other all along and not catch the eye of any cybersecurity or police.
That's why I always delete these messages without even opening them, sir.
How can they predict your future, my little genius? That is in my hand.
That's it. No one ever looks at marketing messages. These people are talking to each other through these random marketing messages. Come on, show me all the messages.
I mean, couldn't they have just used a protected email server, a dark web browser, even dead drops? I feel this is really poorly secure, just banking on the fact that no one clicks a dodgy link. Factor old people into this as well, who basically hand over their entire life savings to a man saying he's a Nigerian prince. And it's amazing how this process has lasted as long as it has. This leads to another montage where a bunch of texts appear. I'm not going to dwell on this too much because you know how much I hate these. It's a lazy way to communicate information. Logan Paul's film did it. I don't need to say anything else. Tara's group then start to get suspicious texts. I assume they are because when she looks at her phone, it's not in English, so I have no idea what anything says apart from getting the top apps of 2019. I really shouldn't have done this, but I ran it through Google Translate, and keep in mind, this is Google Translate, so it's probably not correct at all, but it came back with, "The shadow of the infidel eyes has returned the destination. Today the intentions are deep. Now your soul is the only sorrow here," which is the exact same thing you'd hear a LARPer say on Gmod RP. The bad guys intercept the message and they also mention that they have an undercover agent working in Tara's gang.
Tell our undercover agent to be ready. No matter how fast they drive to.
Damn, I wonder who that unseen guy is. Surely not the same person with headphones earlier, acting suspiciously.
But this girl isn't gonna trust anyone so easily.
There is one guy who I know can definitely win this girl's trust. Arjun.
Do I even need to say anything? I like how these flashback scenes are seeps in chromatic aberration. It looks like a Tommy Innit thumbnail. Oh yeah, and Samar is the king, by the way. But yeah, I mean, we knew that was coming, so I'm not going to act surprised. I love this part where they have Tara's gang cornered, and they just let... The cops in pursuit also have these neon visors, making them look like a cyberpunk fan film. Anyway, all of Tara's gang escapes, but to get away, they had to leave the gold behind. Honestly, looking at it, I'm convinced they're just spray-painted bricks. Also, to make the plot even more convoluted, Samar isn't really the king, even though he is.
King, I should be honest with you too. I'm not the real king.
What?
Yeah. No, I mean, I did the burglaries. I just leave the king's name behind so that the cops go after him while I sit back and relax. Cool, eh?
I'm not even sure if the king is a real person at this point. It's just the equivalent of robbing a bank, then leaving a post-it note of some random kid's address saying, "They did it, lol." Tara then explains that she actually wanted the gold to be stolen because the cameras inside will show Vibha's corrupt money laundering operation. So essentially, it took over an hour to get into Act 2 of the story. You know, the heist part of the film. The entire point of the film. The selling point. But at the same time, how can I be mad with scene transitions like this?
Rashtrapati Bhavan.
There's a montage where they forge identities and signatures to get into the building on the day, but the most morally questionable action is how Samar wants one of the girls to pose as a Make-A-Wish Foundation volunteer.
Are going to pose as a volunteer from the Last Wish Foundation. The CRPF guards will not allow the two of you inside, because your paperwork will be incomplete.
I mean, I understand she's only a volunteer, not pretending to be a terminally ill person, but, you know, they're the good guys. They wouldn't do that.
But why will he allow them in without the right paperwork?
Because I doubt anyone would have the heart to refuse the last wish of a dying man.
Our heroes, everyone. Morally questionable heroes. But, again, like I said, it's only a volunteer.
Is that the two?
Oh my god, no, never mind. They're actually going to pretend that he's terminally ill. I like how they get the most jacked guy to do it as well. There's something deeply wrong about this, especially how in the cutaway CGI, he's represented by a wheelchair moving around the building. Tara also goes in disguise, offering people food to distract them enough to get access for the rest of the group. Surprisingly, no hitches here, because something similar happened in Breaking Bad, and that didn't end too well.